there's our
All
recap.
right. Hello.
Hello,
Yay,
friends.
recap.
Whoa, nice.
Hello, everyone. We are
Hello,
back.
friends.
Great Ace Attorney Chronicles 2. I almost said 3 because there's 3 of us. It's been a long week. And it's Tuesday.
Grace Ace 3, yes.
3, yes.
Absolutely.
3 because 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Thank you for coming to my
That's how
TED
it
Talk.
works.
But we are all back tonight. It's been a while. So sure we're gonna do really great on this trial that I think is wrapping up.
Yeah.
We'll find
I
out.
still have the walkthrough pulled up from the last time we streamed, so
Yay, we will
I'm ready to
probably
guide
need
us.
it.
Oh.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and start with introductions. I guess I always start these, don't I? Usually I let Lemur go first. Would you like to go first today, Lemur?
Sure. You caught me before I put another bite of my dinner in my mouth.
Yay, I win! 10 points
good
to
job.
me.
My name is Lemur, and I play a bunch of characters.
Woo!
I certainly do. I play the judge, Susato.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of half the jury, and then a bunch of other people. We'll get to them as they come up.
Yep.
I'm not remembering names. I remember who I play. I just don't remember their names. It'll be fine.
You remember who they play until we get to when a new character is on screen, and then we all sit there and go, oh shit, who voiced that?
Mm-hmm.
Real.
Because some of these characters we haven't seen in ages.
Real.
I'm the defendant, but really, he's not on trial anymore. He
Yeah.
is, but he's not.
Yeah, he's on trial
It's
to the point
complicated.
that, like, if we lost right now, for some reason, they would declare him guilty, despite the fact that we've pretty much proven he's not guilty, but apparently that's how the law works, or something.
Yes.
Cool,
Yeah,
Mana?
that's me.
Hello, my name is Manabingu. I am your resident voice actor. Friend. I haven't been here for in a hot minute. But I play Herlock Shoves, and half the jury as well, and oh my god, well, a lot of other crazy people too. Oh, the prosecutions, duh. Okay, and I play the slutty prosecution. Yes, that's me.
Perfect. 10 out of 10, 0 notes. Excellent. And I am Kels. I am your player 1, meaning that I just sit here and press all the buttons and make them do most of the breeding, actually. But I actually also played the Unosuke Naruhodo and the bailiff, who sounds like Elmo, which Elmo actually yesterday turned 3.5. So, happy birthday! Happy birthday, Elmo.
How to borrow a phrase from Twilight, how long has he been 3.5?
Don't ask
A while.
questions
I know
you
the
don't
answer.
want
A while.
to know the answer
Don't
to.
think about it too hard.
Not as long as Edward has been 17, but a while.
Fine.
He's got to be getting up there, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is
I don't
Elmo
remember
a
how.
vampire?
He's got very small teeth, if so,
Damn.
and seems weirdly into using the potty that I don't think vampires use. But you know,
Let me. Oops.
That's
Maverick,
crazy.
don't you dare. Maverick. Hold on, I'm googling it.
okay. While you're googling it, I'll read the recap. The 100-year-old version. I'm not entirely sure what that is in reference to, but yes. I don't know if that was to the prosecution, which is also a possibility, or just the mention of Edward Cullen. But, okay, Sholmes is suspicious of how Von Zieks is linked to both the defendant and the professor case. Everything okay?
Yeah, I didn't fully hear you because I was reading, and then I was like, oh, like, is it Edward or... So I didn't hear you read the comment, and then I looked up at the comment, and I made the connection. Anyway, I have the answer once we're done with the recap.
Okay. Courtney Scythe revealed that Strongheart is obstructing efforts to make her take the stand because the professor case is a Pandora's box not to be opened. Von Zieks called Madame Testbells to the stand and talked about the stolen waxwork looking identical to the real professor because she saw him right after his execution. At the cross-examination, she said she needed to record criminal history, so she sought to get the professor's face in a wax impression, but the first try went wrong because she was late to the 3-hour window before rigor mortis. She left at the year's earliest sunrise and hurried, and we pointed out the time discrepancy with the autopsy to say his death wasn't the supposed execution, but after his rise from the grave. We named Drebber as the witness who saw the professor and the thief who stole the waxwork. Test spells revealed that she met Drebber after he was named by only one newspaper. We accused Scythe of using the waxwork as the body double to hide the professor's identity. Von Zeeks backed us up about subpoenaing. That's a hard word for Elmo. Scythe and Drebber. Drebber testified that he strolled through the graveyard, didn't see the professor, and gave up science because of the article. Drebber also talked about the repurposers, his grave-robbing band that sells corpses for science money, and having to leave the university in shame. Von Zeek said that the professor's face was obscured from everyone before and after the execution, so Drebber can't have seen anything to describe to an artist. We figured he was lying to protect Scythe from the truth of the professor getting out, and possibly of her killing him. Drebber's contract with Asmund in the newspaper article have the same signature, so his motive is revenge on Asmund for ruining his science career. He went on a rant about the scientist profession, and we pointed out the blood on his science trophy, but now Scythe wants to admit to something. We have a racism count of 31, which has to be one of the highest we've had so far. That seems so high. Because I don't think we've had 3 days in court. So, apparently we've just been throwing around racial slurs for fun. We have a Hallowed Chalice count of 6, a Gina Menace count of 2, and still a 100-year-old virgin. What is the answer that we have?
So, per the Muppet Wiki, so if I'm wrong, it's wrong. Elmo debuted in 1980, which means he's been 3.5 for 45 years.
He looks really good for a 3.5-year-old.
Oh my god.
So, 1980.
All right. Well, are we ready to maybe wrap up this case? It kind of feels like we're getting close to the end.
We have to be getting close.
You would think so. I mean, we figured out a dead guy wasn't dead, so, or was dead and then died, and I don't know. We figured out the medical examiner did some weird shit. Kind of feel like that's not something you throw in the middle of a case. All right.
Oh yeah, I'm that lady.
You are.
I admit it. All of it.
What?
Oh, what are you doing?
Just doing this for shits and giggles.
Exactly. As the Japanese man said. I was cursed into going along with this man's plot to murder the victim. On the condition that he kept my dirty secret from 10 years ago. No.
Good lord.
I forgot that our hot wax lady is still up there. I love you. I miss you.
That's true. Dr. Scythe. Do you realize what you're saying, woman?
Hey, back off that tone. She's actually doing something beneficial to us.
That.
Exactly. Look,
damn.
He can say whatever he wants, just don't call her woman. Like, come on, man. Have some respect.
It's all true. That day... Flashback! When I arrived at the Crystal Tower, I saw the birdcage. My heart nearly stopped beating. That memory from a decade ago that I'd done my best to bury deep inside myself. It was the professor again, staring me in the face. And then, before I had a chance to react, I noticed something else. It was a note tucked inside the model's jacket. Dr. Scythe, you will go along with my plan. From someone who knows the truth about what really happened that night 10 years ago. All the instructions were there in the note. Every detail was meticulously written out. I had no choice but to do what it said. I made the necessary alterations to the scene and fabricated the autopsy report as instructed. There was really no other choice. It had to be done to protect the judiciary. Can only apologize now.
This feels suspiciously like we've won.
Right.
I don't trust this.
I'm scared. Please, mommy, come pick me up.
Hot Apprentice is there.
Oh, Hot Apprentice.
I forgot about him.
Why on earth would you buckle now?
Okay, I'm gonna say something, and I'm going to point out that I am not a historical fashion expert or anything. She
Yeah.
looks like she's plucked from the wrong time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, girl looks like
Agreed.
she deserved to be in a trauma center game like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No, I
Not,
was gonna
you
say
know.
she looks more futuristic.
Yeah, you know, like I can't put my finger on like what it is about her, but she looks very modern. And I
Yeah.
don't know why.
And like she could be wearing like she could be wearing men's clothes if they wanted to give her a little bit more of a like a not wanting to go for like a dress kind of vibe, but even like if you consider like a men's clothes aesthetic, like that's still very out of time.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's hot. I love it.
Standing next to a guy with a robot hand.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Look,
but his robot hand is very steampunk, which fits.
well, the other thing is that his robot hand is suspension of disbelief, because I don't think even like modern day we have, you know, like things that can move quite in that same way. So I'm already having to suspend disbelief for him. Currently, there's nothing about her other than the fact that she has a child that wears a gas mask all the time that I have to suspend disbelief. So
I felt that.
he is a unicorn. She still kind of looks like a horse.
Yeah.
So she looks like a horse that someone put like an ice cream cone on its head to make it look like a unicorn.
Oh God, I want one. I want ice
Thank
cream.
you for coming to my TED Talk. Also, ice cream sounds amazing now.
I know, I want ice cream. Well, there's no point trying to hide it anymore, is there? I would have done anything to stop it coming out, even collaborate in a murder. But the great lie about that execution 10 years ago has been exposed. Whatever happens, I'm finished.
So then, Mr. Drebber, what do you say to that? Your accomplice has admitted everything. This feels like a trap.
Surely, it goes without saying.
Nothing goes without saying. Say it out loud. You admit your part in it too, then?
I admit nothing at all.
Okay, this is more comfortable.
Wow.
What?
I love the pushback.
Look, we haven't seen anyone completely lose it this trial that I remember, so finally, I'm gonna see this man spontaneously go balder to some shit. I don't know if his hand's gonna pop off or like something wild.
Have you forgotten that the kinesis machine was ripped to shreds by an explosion? Short of me admitting to a crime, that's really no possible way for you to prove I did anything wrong.
No! You know, ignoring the fact that we've spent like 4 months trying to finish this trial and no one remembers where we started, but...
Maverick, it's my turn to breed now. Can you please get off of me? We're struggling over here, y'all. Order! Out! Order!
Whatever this man says, I admit everything.
What?
He threatened to expose my secret, so I went along with his plan. And Lord Von 'n' 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 ' I hope you'll accept my apologies. What happens next is in your hands, of course.
No apologies.
I've heard more than enough now. I hereby present the final findings of this court.
Final? Uh-huh.
Oh,
This trial is not the proper forum in which to pursue the alleged wrongdoings of Mr. Drebber.
What?
The defendant is Professor Albert Harebrain.
damn.
I mean, he's got a point.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
Very
We're all
true.
over here like, oh yeah.
It had slipped my mind.
Isn't he one of your closest friends?
Damn.
As the court has heard, Dr. Scythe has admitted to the allegations brought by the defense, thereby absolving the defendant of any possible guilt.
Yay! So we win?
We won.
You mean?
At the present time, it is the conclusion of this court that the defendant was not involved in any wrongdoing.
Sir,
Oh,
can you
fucking
say
yeah.
that? Isn't there a whole jury involved?
Yeah.
Like,
We don't want that in the basketball.
I mean, fair.
Does the prosecution have any objection? Yeah, it can't be that easy. You're right, chat. I don't trust it.
Thought he was just going to swipe that bottle off the table like a cat.
Right. None, my lord.
Is it like a +5 to the hollow chalice count if he just yeets the
Yeah,
bottle?
just-
Yeet.
He's gonna do that, and it's gonna hit me in the face. So you know.
Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo. You've proven Professor Harebrain's innocence.
That's all we came here to do. Hell yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Without further ado, then, the education. Unless the prosecution or defense have any other matters to discuss.
No, absolutely not.
No.
I don't know. This doesn't feel quite right. We are all just
Okay.
paranoid as shit. We're all over here like,
it's like
but
ain't
what-
no way.
but what if? Why did Dr. Scythe suddenly admit to it like that?
Is everything alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Like you said before, the way the trial is set to end now, the judge will certainly deliver a verdict of not guilty. But is that really what we want? What the defense should be pushing for now is... I think we all know what the correct answer is, but I'll save just in case.
Hey.
Why is the answer never the easy answer? They're never
'Cause the
like, you
game-
know what? Psych. It is, you're all good.
The game wants to mess with us.
Objection.
Oh.
Sorry,
It's
I'm
not
looking
a-
at the
It's not enough to prove him innocent. I need to see this man arrested.
one.
The defense objects to a trial ending at this time, my lord.
I beg your pardon? Maverick, stop.
We demand one final testimony.
Calm down.
Hmm.
What?
You heard Santa.
You, Maverick, I swear to God. You do realize I'm about to advocate in favor of your client, I presume.
No, I've suddenly forgotten everything about the courtroom, and I'm just like, yeah, no, this can't be right.
What are you playing at now, my Nipponiese friend?
Really? Is our racism count not high enough?
Why would you want to obstruct the conclusion of the trial at this point? No defense lawyer in his right mind would do that.
Yeah, well, I'm not in my right mind. So,
All the time.
Oh, do you want to do it? Do you want to read? You can't read. words are. Mr. Naruhodo, what exactly are you thinking?
Clearly, you need to send him to dog school, so he can learn how to read. Then he'd just take over the world, but you know.
Yeah, we don't need Maverick to learn how to read.
The truth, the whole truth, and a way to bring it all out to the open.
Right.
Yes. In hindsight.
Stupid idea.
Oh yes, one word of warning before I go. If in the course of this trial this afternoon you perceive even a shadow of a doubt about the truth, don't let it out of your sight. Pursue it like a dog with a bone. To the bitter end, you understand? Do not falter, whatever may come to pass.
I'm sure Mr. Sholmes knew. He must have deduced that this would happen.
You're giving him a lot of credit.
Yeah, he has brain cells? What?
Yes, I'm here in court to advocate for my client. And to secure an acquittal.
Well, obviously.
Okay, the backsass was not appreciated. But that's not all. I believe that I have a duty to the court to pursue the whole truth of the case until every last detail is laid bare. And that is why the defense calls for further testimony from Dr. Scythe.
Testimony from me? And about what?
About the nature of your collaboration with Mr. Enoch Drebber.
In a case it's escaped your attention, I've already admitted to everything I did.
No, I just
The whole truth.
took a nap.
The whole truth has already been revealed. So stop wasting everyone's time.
Ugh.
As his lordship made it very plain, the client will get the acquittal you wanted for him. There's simply no point protracting this business further with another tedious cross-examination. Yeet. Pray, forgive my careless handling of that hollowed bottle I slipped.
That's what you call it?
Yes, it's the hollowed bottle.
Sorry. Catching up with chat. Last time we ended on a technicality this early. Our defendant turned out to be the real killer. Good point. And then Von Zeeks, my learned friend. I was totally giving you this freebie. What the hell?
I don't work on pity points.
Damn.
There's no sympathy convictions. No one ever gives me those.
I'm starting to think you just want to rub your victory even more in my face.
It is definitely a plus, especially knowing that he's got like a personal connection to this. It's like rubbing it even more. I swear I'm not that spiteful of a person. I am.
Well, damn, at least you're honest.
I am honest.
Maverick has been good all day. Okay, well, what is your objection, Lord Von Zeeks?
The prosecution also calls for supplementary testimony from the witness.
Okay, so what was your whole like little silence thing there? Were you just gonna go, well, you know what, seems neat, like I don't need it?
I just wanted to flip the bottle, as the kids say. Don't be stupid!
It's like when you see TikTok videos of people trying to flip the bottle and make it land back down. Von Zeeks just did very badly at it.
Oh yeah, it hit someone in the eye.
Yeah, you know, it just went way out
like,
there.
My eye!
Aww.
Don't be stupid! Oh. If there is more to this case that has yet come to light, then I will join my learned friend in pursuing the facts until the bitter end.
Okay, appreciate it, but also would you lean back a little bit so I can see Hot Apprentice more?
Well, hot damn. You what?
Lord Von Zeeks. Seriously, though, lean back.
This is most irregular, to say the least. However, as the prosecution also calls for it, I will uphold the request for some reason. Doctor, it's not like I'm the one in charge here. Dr. Scythe, you would testify for the court. You will testify. Explaining the full extent of your involvement in the murder apparently committed by Mr. Drebber.
Oh, very well.
So how much of a can of worms do you think we're about to open?
Too damn big. Literally Pandora's box, apparently.
Yeah. I made a fool of you while saving your bestie Fonzies.
Shit, man.
All right, the waxwork plot.
It all began at the scene when I saw the waxwork and the note tucked inside of the jacket. The actual body of the victim was indicated in the note's instructions, was beneath the experimentation stage. The body had been arranged in certain ways to implicate the defendant, which was my job. I enlisted the help of the entire forensic investigation team to dress the scene appropriately.
This is wild that she's like, you know what, my entire team, yeah, fuck them all.
Yep.
They're just as bad as me.
The truth about the execution 10 years ago is a state secret of the highest level. I had to protect it.
So I was right. The stage and the machine were all specially designed for the deception.
So it seems. And all meticulously prepared. You did well to see through it.
Okay, she's definitely lying to us. She complimented me. That doesn't ever happen.
You're a very shrewd boy.
Very much not a boy anymore. I don't like this.
Who's a bad boy?
No. We're not going there. Not in front of hot wax
apprentice.
wife and hot apprentice and my other wife next to me that I love very much. Like, please leave me alone.
Auto break or takedown, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Right in front of the harem.
So kind of you to say.
Or a rather extensive polycule.
Yeah.
And what about this autopsy report then?
Look, we were just supposed to be a throuple, but then Kazuma had the issue that he died.
Yeah, I was like, he had the audacity to die.
Exactly.
And I had to find replacements.
No one has lived up to him.
Real. All I did was record the location of the body as being in the crystal tower instead of under the stage.
That's all. That's a terrible corruption.
Only my team were aware of the deceit, and then only under my explicit instruction. Nobody else at Scotland Yard knew anything about it, I assure you.
We must be thankful for small mercies, I suppose. Well, I believe that testimony has clarified everything. What? There's no particular need for cross-examination, I would say. He wants to go home.
No,
Yeah.
I disagree. Sorry, Your Honor, you cannot go to Ye Olde Ball Pit yet.
Damn it.
I can't shake the feeling that something's wrong. Just look at that expression on Dr. Scythe's face. There's something weird about it. It's the defense's right to cross-examine any witness following testimony.
What is it about you Japanese that makes you all so doggedly persistent?
Ugh.
Do you know more than one of us? Or I guess the two of us standing in this courtroom?
Damn.
Very well. If you desire, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord.
Judge, I thought I was getting to get my drink on at the Ye Olde Chili's happy hour, but the defense has to be all noble.
Is Chili's where you can get the $1 margaritas? Or is that Applebee's?
I don't know.
Damn, it's been a hot minute.
I don't go places.
I don't go outside.
Ah.
What the fuck?
Actually, not this week, but that's beside the point.
All right,
That's
cross-examination time.
Maverick, please go away. I love you
It
so
all
much.
began on the scene when I saw waxwork and the note tucked inside of the jacket.
Hang on there.
From what you described before, it sounds like the note was anonymous. Did you have any idea of who was behind it?
There are very few people in the know about what really happened 10 years ago to start with. But anyway, I'd never heard of this engineer, so no, I had no idea.
Yet, despite not knowing who was behind the plan, you went along with it?
I had no choice. Protecting the professor's secret was my only concern. But the horse has bolted now, and the stable door has never shut again.
Okay.
Scotland Yard's reputation will be immeasurably damaged as a result of all this. Yes, thank you, Lord Von Zeeks. I'm well aware of that.
So, as I understand it, what you found in the birdcage was the waxwork model. Where then was the victim's body?
The actual body of the victim indicated in the note's instructions was beneath the experimentation stage.
So you knew about the special construction of the stage used to carry out the trick then?
It was quite obvious what had happened with the victim and the waxwork.
And you switched the two over, didn't you? In other words, you recorded the victim's body as having been discovered in the Crystal Tower, and the waxwork...
I wrapped it and sent it by carriage to the specific address at the specified time.
And why were you given such directions?
Presumably so it could be recovered by Drebber and returned to Madame Tuspel's.
I see. And then you put the birdcage back on the experimentation stage?
Yes, although someone obviously made a mistake about which cage should be where. I thought I'd made it perfectly clear to the team, but still.
I suppose you were focused on the victim's body, that being a more important detail. Weird place to pause.
The body had to be arranged in certain ways to implicate the defendant, which was my job.
When you say arranged, I presume you mean with this?
Yes. The instructions in the engineer's notes said something along the lines of fabricate some evidence to make it clear that Hairbrain alone could have killed Asman.
So, you mean that was your doing?
I fetched Hairbrain's ridiculous screwdriver from the stage. And I took it with me, alone, to the abyss under the stage where the birdcage had fallen.
Alone, Doctor?
Yeah, it was kind of a weird thing to say it that way.
I didn't feel it would be appropriate to involve anybody else in the particular part of the deception. There was a void under the stage where I found the birdcage lying in the dirt. I approached it, leaned down, and slowly opened it up. Then I took the screwdriver in both hands. And plunged it into the man's chest.
And then you noted that in your fake autopsy report as a fictitious cause of death.
Exactly. So, the actual cause of death was the trauma resulting from a 30-foot drop.
My word.
What is it, Miss Susato?
Something about Dr. Scythe's last statement. It's playing on my mind, that's all.
Yeah, mine too. Dr. Scythe,
There's really no need to shout. I can hear you perfectly well.
the defense calls for you to add what you just said to your formal testimony.
Oh? Which part?
What I want her to supplement her testimony with is it the real cause of death or what she did to the victim? Let's take a look at our evidence really quick. Okay, so there is a stab wound to the chest there. There's the screwdriver. Hey, Lemur, what do I want?
What she did to the victim.
Okay. How you stabbed Mr. Asman in the chest. That part.
Fine, if that's what you want. But there's really no need to point. The prosecution concurs.
About the pointing?
Yes, about the pointing.
Maverick. Very well. You will supplement the testimony now, witness.
If you wish, my lord. I searched for the victim's corpse, which lay in the toppled cage, and plunged a screwdriver into his chest.
Alright, let's see what she has to say about it.
Hold it!
So it was you who stabbed Asman with this?
Yes, far easier than dissection, I assure you. No precision required.
Fair. What a welcome change.
The victim died instantly from a snapped neck. All I did was carry out the instructions I'd been given. As unflinchingly as ever, no doubt. I imagine you didn't bat an eyelid when you drove the weapon into his body. There was no need to bat my eyelids.
And what else did you do to twist the facts? Remind the court, why don't you?
If you wish. I enlisted the help of the entire forensic investigation team to address the scene appropriately.
The entire team? In perverting the course of justice?
Yes, my team consisted of the very best investigators there are. I demand loyalty from all members. We operate on a code of chivalry of sorts.
You aid and abet a murderer, commit perjury, and dare to talk of chivalry?
Oh, it was a matter of priorities.
What?
Nothing more important than protecting the secrets of the professor. My team did what was necessary without losing sight of the primary goal. I consider their conduct exemplary.
Don't concede the point, Mr. Naruhodo. You mustn't let her win.
I need a lawyer.
Lamau, wait, we are the lawyer. I'll take that silence as tacit acceptance. Now, can we move on?
If we must.
The truth about the execution 10 years ago is a state of secret of the highest level. I had to protect it.
But at what cost? Faith in Scotland Yard is going to suffer a terrible blow as a result of this.
And your precious secret is out now anyway.
Yes, as you say. And I take full responsibility.
Throw me down, Dr. Zide!
Yeah, feel stupid now for yelling at me for being mean to her? Surely there was some other way you could have protected the secret.
No, there really wasn't. I've done my utmost, believe me. In many ways, I respect your determination.
And in many ways, she does not. Ooh, I nearly froze under that cold stare as she said that.
I do believe she was being genuine, though, Mr. Naruhodo.
So that's her story.
She's admitted everything and revealed her full involvement in the crime. I do wonder if there could really be much more to it.
Well, I don't know, but I just have a feeling.
Do you, Mr. Naruhodo? The truth is, I find it strange, too.
How those two are reacting.
Oh wait, that's you.
How those two are reacting to this in completely opposite ways, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. For some reason, I feel sure they're still trying to hide something. Alright.
Press the button!
Which was your
We need a
job.
real lawyer. Susato, do you have Ryutaro Naruhodo on the
Exactly.
speed dial?
Alright, Lemur, what's the right answer?
So we're going to need to present on the new statement number 4.
Okay.
Present the photograph of the victim.
Objection!
Look at this photograph.
Maverick. Whatever's happening outside is none of our business.
I've got a nasty feeling that this inconsistency points to an extremely uncomfortable truth. Thank God that was just an inner thought.
What on earth is the matter, Counsel? Have you lost your tongue?
No, it's just flopping around in my mouth. It's fine. I apologize, my lord. Dr. Scythe, in that last statement of yours, there's just one point that seems to defy explanation.
Out with it, my learned friend.
There's an obvious inconsistency between your description and this photograph, which shows the victim in the birdcage following the events that led to his death.
Objection!
The court has already examined the photograph in depth. There's nothing new that we can learn from it.
Well, then maybe you should try again. Yes, we've already considered it, that's true. But we now know the facts to be different.
What do you mean?
I mean, I get to look at it differently because I don't remember what we talked about last time.
I believe we should let the defense explain. Explain. Where in this photograph would we see the alleged inconsistency with the witness's statement?
I mean, the stab wound is very far to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Take that!
Look closely at the blood stain on the victim's chest. It clearly extends in a downward direction towards the man's feet. Yeah, that's
What?
fair. I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's like it was upright.
And why is that significant, Counsel? If the victim was stabbed moments before the... Okay, for some reason I was like, that's not me. It is me. It literally is. Before the kinesis machine was set in motion, that's entirely expected. Yeah, of course. No, that's not what happened.
Exactly, my lord. Dr. Scythe made it very clear in her testimony just now that the point at which she stole Professor Harebrain's screwdriver and stabbed the victim was after the grand deception was set in motion, when the birdcage had fallen below the stage out of sight. From the shape of it, it's clear that the birdcage would have fallen on its side after the 30-foot drop. And if the victim had really been stabbed whilst inside the birdcage at that position, the blood from the wound would have spread out equally in all directions. For it to have formed the longitudinal appearance we see in the picture is inconceivable.
Oh,
I feel like a medical examiner maybe should have just, discovered that one before I did.
yeah, damn.
Given that the victim's blood seeped vertically downwards from the wound, it must be the case that when you stabbed Mr. Asman, he was standing up. In short, Dr. Scythe, your latest testimony was a total fabrication.
Oh, oh.
I knew it. I was right. Now I've identified that contradiction. There's only one way to explain the facts. We've all been under a great misapprehension here.
What? What sort of misapprehension?
Dr. Scythe,
Hmm.
you claim you were coerced into helping Mr. Drebber as a result of the note he left in the waxwork. You claim that you made changes to the scene of the crime to implicate the defendant. And you claim that you authored a fake autopsy report to cover your tracks. But one of those claims is an out-and-out lie. Because the question of what the blood stain really tells us has only one possible answer.
If that is the case, what is it, man?
No, I'm just going to keep talking around it more like I'm in 6th grade trying to drag out an essay.
Counsel, you clearly struck upon a revelation. Now tell the court what it is. Which part of Dr. Scythe's story is shown to be a lie by the contradiction in her testimony?
This is obvious, isn't it? It's the stabbing of the victim.
Hmm.
Okay. The answer is very simple if you consider the sequence of events. If, when the victim was stabbed, the blood from the wound seeped downwards, as it did, we can be sure that the victim must have been either sitting or standing upright at the time.
But as you rightly pointed out, the birdcage would have fallen on its side when it fell beneath the cage.
Yes, it would, which tells us that the victim must have been in that position of his own accord.
Objection!
That's impossible. The man was dead, remember?
No, that is the misapprehension. When the birdcage fell from the stage into the void below, it must have hit the ground with considerable force.
I hope that Tuspels is just standing there like, can I leave?
Yeah, she's just hanging
Yeah,
out.
Lisa.
But Mr. Asman didn't die in the fall. He probably lost consciousness for a while, but when he came round, he got to his feet to climb out of the cage. Just as Dr. Scythe appeared. If the victim was in fact alive at that point in time, it changes everything.
Ugh. Urgh.
Mr. Odiasman's killer wasn't the defendant, Professor Albert Harebrain. Nor was it the mastermind behind the stage trickery, Mr. Enoch Drebber. It was you, Dr. Courtney Scythe.
Ah. Ah.
Ah,
Order. Can this possibly be true?
Have you been taking me for a fool? It was you, was it? You killed him?
ah.
Girl, I would probably say no, not just look away. You hoped that by admitting to being an accomplice in Mr. Drebber's scheme, the trial would end. Before you were accused of a far worse crime. Cold-blooded murder.
Nick.
Oh, do shut up.
No.
You're so desperate now. You're making all this up as if I would do something like that.
I assure you, the defense is not desperate, Doctor.
Yeah, I could have ended this ages ago.
Mr. Naruhodo has established the facts using evidence and logic alone.
This is why you're the best wife, Susato.
Ha! Logic. Don't make me laugh. Sadly, your logic has a gaping hole in it.
What do you mean?
I'd have thought it was obvious. A motive, boy. You're lacking a motive.
I'm a grown-ass man. Please stop calling me boy.
What possible reason would I have to kill Mr. Osman?
Osman was involved in a number of criminal activities, from coercion to theft to murder. But there is no known connection to Dr. Scythe here. Or is there? Is there?
I'm rather relieved to say that it doesn't seem somewhat far-fetched, or it does seem somewhat far-fetched.
True, there's no obvious motive. But there's still something in the back of my mind. I feel sure I've seen something somewhere that hints at why the coroner might have done this. I'm gonna look at my evidence really quick. Maybe it will remind me. Since I assume they're gonna ask me about it. What do I got? I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Yes, I might have tampered with the crime scene and concocted a fake report. But murdering someone for no reason is a very different story.
Objection.
And yes, my determination is exactly why I'm the great ace attorney. I'll stand by that. No. When you questioned what possible reason you could have for wanting to kill Mr. Assman, something did come to mind.
What?
What was it, counsel? Enlighten the court at once.
Yes. We saw it yesterday, didn't we? Yesterday was months ago, dude. Please give me more of a hint. Something that seems strange, but we had no reason to suspect it at the time. There's a particular object that explains why Dr. Scythe would have wanted to kill Mr. Assman. Is it the scalpels that...
Yes.
Yay! I don't remember what it was about it, but that seemed realistic. It's a scalpel, or rather, scalpels.
Did you say scalpels?
I don't know why scalpels currently does not look like a real word. You know, sometimes
Yeah,
like you
same.
look at words and you sit there and you go, that doesn't feel like it's real. Like, did they misspell
Yeah.
that? Scalpels I'm currently having that issue with.
Yes.
It would appear that word has struck a chord, Doctor, with all of us right now going, is that a real word?
You. Come on, out with it.
If you insist. I have the power of the law and a walkthrough on my side.
Got the
Anime
power
and
of
God.
God and anime on my side.
It was yesterday when we visited your laboratory. Look at this big, thick book here.
It appears to be an accounting ledger. It's a record of the forensic investigation team's spending, I think. Oh.
What is it?
It's clear that the team purchases various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but, well, one entry seems rather strange.
Really? In what way?
Susato, what would you know about what medical examiners need to know if that was something is strange? They're buying 500 scalpels every month. I mean, that is a lot.
That is.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I mean, like, there's concerns about cross-contamination, but it's also not like this is a living body. You can't fuck it up that bad.
Yeah.
And forensic science is still in its infancy, so, like, really, how bad could it be if you use the same scalpel on multiple people? Medical point here, I'm not a doctor. But I'm pretty sure if you're alive, don't share scalpels.
Disclaimer, we're not doctors.
Yes, disclaimer. We also may not be lawyers, but take our medical advice anyways. We're good at it.
I've been first aid and CPR certified for a very long time. Bloodborne pathogens are a real thing. Please don't share scalpels. 500 scalpels a month?
At first, I wondered what on earth you could be using that many scalpels for. To juggle.
Target practice.
Yeah, target practice. But actually, I realize now it's not the scalpels themselves are significant. Look, Neonoscape, maybe they give them out like candy to kids. Like, you know, you come tour the laboratory. Here's your own scalpel.
Oh, that's where the rumors about the Halloween candy come from.
Yeah, there we go. It's the money for them, disappearing every month from the department's accounts.
Osmond's criminal organization relied heavily on extortion for its funding. Tracing the money from the forensic investigation team's account to find out where it was going would be extremely straightforward.
10 years ago, when Mr. Assman was still a journalist and wrote this article about Mr. Drubber, he may well have stumbled upon information as he was researching the story. Information relating to Dr. Scythe's darkest secret that he would use to rack money from her for the next decade.
Her darkest secret? Good lord, you mean?
Her sex dungeon. I don't know what happened on the night of that execution 10 years ago. But clearly, the opportunity to rid yourself of that menace was too tempting to pass up.
Yeah.
Girl, I wasn't going to do this to you, but you were the one who went, I don't have a motive.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the end, you weren't coerced at all, were you? You did it entirely out of your own free will. You stabbed Mr. Assman in the heart with all your might. To silence the blackmailer who knew your dark secret forever.
No. You'll never understand. None of you.
She okay?
I
What
don't
we've
think so.
had to keep covered up all these long years.
All of us all standing there like, okay.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah. Cool story, still murder.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally, we're.
As very little of the machine remains after it was ripped apart by the bomb, the truth of this case can never be properly established unless you speak out.
And if you decide not to, it's very possible that Courtney Scythe will escape punishment for her crimes. Please, sir, own up to what you've done and tell the court the truth about what happened.
10 years ago, you told the truth, and you were robbed of the bright and successful future as a result. I can certainly understand your bitterness and your consternation now. However, This is surely the chance you've been waiting for, to sever the hold that fate's hand had over you all these years. Super high voltage, instantaneous kinesis. I mean, really.
Are we about to feel the Professor Albert Harebrain's heart breaking from half the gallery away?
Yes. It's the addle-brained mock scientists that were the worst, you know.
Oh.
They don't recognize the fact when they don't have talent. They can't even get that right. And so they end up chasing impossible dreams, having unbridled faith in their abilities. They go on about their wonderful hypotheses, their stupid eyes shining like a little child. They make me sick. I can't abide their foolishness.
Careful, Mr. Driver.
I was particularly pleased with the kinesis machine. It's made for quite a show, didn't it?
So you admit it? You admit that it was nothing more than a sham made for the purpose of killing the victim?
Yes, I admit it. I did it all in the name of revenge.
Revenge for the future that Mr. Asman's article had deprived you of 10 years earlier. But the revenge you sought didn't stop at Asman, did it?
Which is where that very particular waxwork comes in. Yes, I see.
The condemned convict that you saw rising from the grave in Lowgate Cemetery 10 years ago. If your account of these events was all true,
Then obviously Scotland Yard couldn't afford to acknowledge what had happened. Even if it meant discrediting a bright young man and crushing any future career he might have had.
So your plan required that you abduct that particular waxwork model in order to exact your revenge on Scotland Yard as well. Or on Dr. Scythe, to be precise.
It was a year ago. By some extraordinary twist of fate, Asman turned up at my workshop. He didn't remember who I was, of course. He just wanted to employ my services as an engineer. And he happened to have a paper with him. An article on the front page caught my eye. But the coroner who had handled the bogus autopsy being appointed head of a new forensic team. When I learned that news, my cognitive processes started to devise a plan.
what a horrid tale.
Girl, it's gonna get worse.
And it got
Brace
worse.
yourself, yeah. Dude's gonna die here.
He robbed me of my future, so I wanted to use that man's own wiles against him for revenge. And have that rotten Scotland Yard eating out of my hand at the same time. I wanted them all to suffer the same humiliation I'd had to suffer.
And he would have gotten it away with it too if it weren't for that pesky defense assistant and his lovely wife.
Real.
Your actions against those who'd ruined your future were justified as revenge, at least to yourself. Certainly, no one has the right to destroy another's prospects, especially for purely selfish gain. And yet, in carrying out your plan, you did exactly that to someone else, didn't you?
Did I?
Professor Harebrain's only crime was passion for his hypothesis. But you had no compunction about sacrificing his future to effect your revenge. You knew that he would be forever branded a failure and a fraud. Perhaps life treated you unfairly 10 years ago, and others' misconduct left your life in tatters. But remember this. Your own actions resulted in exactly the same thing for another perfectly innocent young man. I don't know why we're scolding him. He's not a
Right.
child.
I. Wow, they left his ass.
I know. Where did everyone go?
They just left his ass.
Lord Von Zeeks, what of Dr. Scythe?
An immediate warrant for her arrest has been granted, and she's been remanded in custody, my lord.
So satisfying.
I presume she will face trial in the coming days, along with Mr. Drever.
A most regrettable situation indeed. She's made great contributions to her profession over the years. It really is a hard truth to swallow. However, that is a topic for some future occasion. For now, Professor Hairbrain. Oh, yes. It seems that there's a great deal more to your experiment than you realized. However, I think that we can assume now that all of the sordid details have been brought to light. It has been a very long and profound trial, but I am pleased to say you are absolved of all guilt.
Yippee! No.
This whole experience has taught me a very great but painful lesson. This dedicated scientist, this devotee of natural philosophy. I've been selfish, self-centered, and above all, a fool.
Wakami time.
Professor?
I've spent my life thinking of nothing but my research. Misguidingly believing that I could do whatever I set my mind to despite my lack of talent. And the worst of it is, in the process, I've caused others pain and misery. Others who are far, far greater people than I.
No, Professor. That's not true.
Okay, this feels like a really out of character time for you to pipe up.
What?
Don't tar yourself with the same brush as Drever. What happened was his doing, and his alone. This outcome and his fate, not yours. You're not to blame in any way.
Lord Von Zeeks?
I decided to wake up and be nice today. At the derision with which he referred to you earlier, calling you a fool, talentless even. The man has no idea. To believe in yourself and work your fingers to the bone to realize your dreams, that's laudable, not laughable.
Who is this man?
Who is he? Who
Did
are
he
you?
get swapped out by aliens sometime between, like, one of the last streams and now? Like, he's been helpful and now he's, like, giving a pep talk? What fucking universe are we in?
Damn. No one has the right to deride another for such choices.
No. Thank you, Brock. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Yes, my lord. Oh, I think that was you, actually. That was you.
Yeah, I don't care. Is this court's expectation that you find the defendant not guilty of the charge of which he stands accused?
Feels kind of like telling the jury what to do, Your Honor, but...
Yes. I'm glad you're picking up on what's happening. I presume there are no objections. None for me, my lord.
Certainly not.
This trial has really made me think, but this is the right decision.
It's all been proven methodically and rigorously. I've no misgivings whatsoever.
I fucking forgot about Corn Girl.
That's that. He's done, is he? It's all over?
I think you know what's become of this yard these days. I don't recognize the place.
Dude, you're gonna go back there at break, like...
Juror number 2. Nah, this guy annoys me. I'm still voting guilty. Very well. In that case, I hereby pronounce the defendant. Maverick.
Not guilty.
Guilty.
Yippee, confetti, wee. And fireworks. What
Indoors.
the fuck?
It's fine.
Who
See,
cares about historical preservation?
Yeah.
Or fire codes?
They don't have that.
Yeah, fuck that.
Court is adjourned.
Yay!
Yippee.
London fires every day.
No.
It's over. That was some trial. 24th of October, 4:33 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Didn't we start at like 9 o'clock in the morning or some shit like that? Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Oh,
Who
wow.
knows? Who knows?
It's a full day.
Very full day.
Professor, what a splendid outcome, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is. Congratulations, Professor Hairbrain. Mr. Naruhodo. Miss Susato. I am truly beside myself with gratitude. How could I ever thank you enough?
I'm just glad it's all been cleared up. That you realize you were just caught up in a bad situation.
Right now, you know, if I had that research grant money, never don't. I'd give a whole lot to you, every penny.
Well, that's very kind, but I'm just a student, so...
We deserve to be paid.
Now,
Apparently we
where's our
don't.
money, punk?
We don't need any financial reward. Your acquittal is more than enough. Susato!
What do we...
Coral.
Did,
That's not how business works.
does Sholmes just give us his attic? Does Iris pay for our food? Like, what is going on here? What do we actually get paid for?
We get paid to look pretty.
Oh dear. What can I do? Ah! How about this? As a memento, the paper about my hypothesis is inside.
Well, just as a memento then. Thank you. I guess.
You get a sticker.
I
know you tried sticker.
Sometimes you need reading material when you're on the toilet. Like,
We did all this work and we got a fucking zine. I've been wondering, Professor, what are you going to do now? Oh my. Yes, what am I going to do? My hypothesis, my great machine and my great machine lie in ruins. But still, it's been too long since I was last in London, so perhaps I'll enjoy some sightseeing. I must explore the Great Exhibition while I'm here, too, and see if new inspiration hits me. Don't stay too long. Don't get arrested for something else.
yeah.
Sacha said something.
I can't allow that. I don't know. I'm gonna assume that wasn't actually me. Oh, nope, that wasn't me. Lord Von
You can thank
Zeeks?
us.
What are you doing
Go-
here?
You can thank us by paying the bill and telling Von Zix to chill out, says
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, bruh.
I'm sorry you had to go through that, Albert.
I'm sorry. I love how we're at the end of a trial, but the happy music just cut off so that we could have the very dramatic music now that Von Zeeks is here.
Damn.
It's like Darth Vader walking in.
Well, if I'm honest, it was terrifying. You were like a great demon behind your bench there, snarling down at your prey.
I forgot his little shimmy.
You're one of the few true friends I have.
Haven't you guys like not talked in 10 years?
Yes, that's beside the point. I couldn't leave it to anybody else to handle the prosecution or the defense.
Was that a compliment to us?
Yeah.
Sorry? Or the defense? Did I just hear that right?
Damn.
I always knew that you had my best interests at heart. Don't worry. How about you show me around while I'm here in town? It's been a long time since we left university. We have a lot to catch up on.
This is like the start of a Hallmark plot, and I'm into it.
I ship it. Listen, Albert.
We can't be together anymore. I got married.
Real. In a few days, your acquittal will be made official. When that happens, you must head straight to Dover, or I'll accompany you on a date.
What?
From there, you'll cross the channel and make your way back to Germany. I've already purchased the tickets.
But no. Hold on a minute, Brock.
This seems like totally normal behavior.
What about the Great Exhibition? Something else?
No sightseeing, Albert. Give up on the idea.
Sometimes it's hard to see any warmth in those eyes, Brock.
That's why you broke up last time. Lord Von Zeeks? What's all this about?
A necessary precaution.
Yes, I think I understand.
You do?
Good point, chat. He's concerned about the Reaper's curse. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Iris told me that when you met Lord Von Zeeks at his office some days ago, he asked how Mr. Natsume was doing.
Yeah, that's right. I remember being surprised at the time and thinking it was nice of him to ask.
The point is, Mr. Natsume is still alive and well. Even though it's been more than 6 months now since he stood trial with the Reaper as the prosecutor.
You mean the Reaper's influence doesn't stretch overseas?
Those in the Reaper's sights meet the end days or sometimes months after the acquittal. That's been the pattern up to now.
But of course, we know that both Mr. Natsume and Gina were completely innocent.
True. And perhaps that governs the Reaper's actions. A truly innocent are spared.
Yeah, because it's not like Gina's gone abroad.
But I don't want to take any chances with a close personal friend.
Aw. This is a Hallmark movie.
It is.
But back.
No, I want to stay with you. We have to stay together.
Like that mustache Nipponese. This man should leave the country without delay.
I was about to get offended at thinking that we were the mustache Nipponese before remembering I don't have a mustache.
That's why I'm packing him off to Germany at once.
Right.
Because I love him.
I love him, Daddy. Does your friend-shaped package get any say in it? That is the weirdest way to not be referring to his penis.
Whoa!
Goodness. Was that your intention all along then, Lord Von Zeeks?
In court, where people think of him as the Reaper, this man seems absolutely merciless. And yet, sometimes I feel as though I don't understand him at all.
Just
I mean, I've seen him like 3 times out of court, man.
It's time to go, Albert. Back to the prison for the time being.
I am trying to judge this man like he's my school teacher, but I saw him outside of the classroom 3 times. Like, oh my God, what do you mean he drinks wine and, goes home and has dinner?
That's crazy.
Yes, alright. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you so much for everything.
Not at all, Professor. It was a pleasure getting to know you.
Best wishes, Professor Hairbrain. Well, once the dust is settled, you must come and visit me in Germany.
Okay.
Anyway, goodbye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Now, my Nipponese friend.
Oh, yes. I thought you'd gone too.
We have matters to discuss. Can you spare me some time?
If I have to. You want to talk with me?
I'll be waiting in the courtroom in 10 minutes.
Oh.
Are you going to set me on fire in the courtroom like you did to that one guy? Well, that was strange. For some reason, I didn't get that sense of impending doom as he walked away this time. The enigma. Barak von Zeeks. What does he want to discuss, I wonder? The answer awaits in the courtroom, I suppose. Here goes, then. "24th of October, 4:58 p.m. The Old Bailey, courtroom." Oh, just courtroom.
Oh, shit.
Okay, I was joking about setting things on fire in here. But Hot Apprentice is still here.
Yeah. So, are you satisfied? You saved a guiltless scientist from a great injustice.
Yeah, I think so. I'm relieved, at least, that the man's innocence could be proven.
Anyway, I imagine you've been wondering where my animosity towards you Nipponese come from.
I was not expecting this conversation to be therapy. But, you know what? Let's do it, I guess.
Okay.
Gotta smack myself, make sure I'm still awake.
The correct reaction.
Is this a dream? Well, at first I thought you just didn't like me. I imagined you saw me as a pretentious child from an unimportant land who had no business being here, because I'm pretty sure that's kind of what you called me, like our first trial together.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think differently.
Mm-hmm.
You clearly know our ways. So I would guess that some specific incident led to your thorough dislike of my race. Will you tell me what happened, please?
The professor. I thought I'd never hear that name in this courtroom again, to be honest.
He took your brother's life.
Clint. My brother was Clint von Zeeks. 16 years ago, when I was still just in my teens. He was already the director of prosecutions and a key member of the judiciary.
How old was he? I just need to know to, like, figure out, am I behind? Because, like, you're, like, 27 and seem to be a big person, so, you know.
I looked up to him. He was everything I aspired to be. He was involved in the establishment of justice systems in foreign countries as well. There were exchange programs between Britain and other nations then too, to share knowledge and ideas. As part of those programs, 3 judicial students came to Britain from your homeland, the Empire of Japan.
Oh. If it was 16 years ago, then one of them could have been my father.
I keep forgetting she's only 16.
Of course. I remember Dr. Mikotoba well.
I had no idea.
I was a minor at the time, training at the prosecutor's office. One day, Clint introduced me to the 3 visiting Nipponese.
So, you've actually met my father.
He and his colleagues were polite and amicable. They were adept at their work and exacting in their standards. It was my first encounter with the Nipponese spirit, and it made a great impression on me. But 6 years later, that's when it happened. The investigation was going nowhere. There were no suspects even, just ever-growing list of victims. And in the end, my brother became one of them. The last, in fact, before the case was finally resolved.
I'm so sorry, Lord Von Zeeks. Truly.
Clint was always ready to put his life on the line for justice anyway, so he wouldn't have wanted it any other way. He lost his life to the killer, and it was his victory in the end. For me personally, though, it was a great loss. I found myself in a very dark place indeed. I finally found out the killer's identity. The reason why no one had been able to catch the man sooner ceased to be such a mystery. He'd been hiding in plain sight all the time.
In plain sight.
Are you aware of political events 10 years ago?
Probably not in Britain, since I wasn't even planning on coming here to begin with.
It was a period extremely sensitive diplomacy between the British and Japanese empires.
A new treaty was being forged, I think.
Correct. The Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation was being concluded. The leaders of both countries were deep in extensive political discussions. Which is why this particular killer's appearance in court was conducted as a closed trial. But if the British public had known the identity of the killer, not only would the treaty have been in jeopardy, but our 2 nations would very well have ended up in war.
What? A war? Between Britain and Japan?
But that would mean, oh my, you meant to say the professor was...
Oh.
When the trial reached its conclusion earlier, I thought to myself,
Oh,
yes,
oh
it's
shit!
time.
He speaks!
time for you to come face to face with this hideous monster.
Are we gonna know what he... What?
I borrowed the key for the mask from the proprietress of the Waxwork Museum. So see for yourselves now.
I'm
Confirm it
scared.
with your own eyes. The truth that's been hidden this past decade.
Oh God.
That's the professor?
Oh god, he sounds
Yes,
so
it's him.
covered in my head.
Until now, a thought never even crossed my mind. That the mass murderer, whose crimes shook Britain as never before, was Japanese.
Wait a minute. That face. I feel as though I've seen it somewhere. It's strangely familiar.
English. Oh.
Uh,
Oh.
Oh,
Hot Apprentice, are you okay, buddy?
oh, baby boy.
You know when you just gotta
Oh,
scream
shit.
sometimes? Jesus.
Is everyone doing okay here?
Nope.
Oh.
Even hotter now.
What?
Father.
What?
What?
Daddy.
Father?
Daddy.
I can't handle this level of just what?
This telenovela just got real.
Is he gonna pull a Batman and take the makeup off while he takes the mask off too?
Probably.
Oh shit.
Raccoon eyes.
What?
Raccoon eyes.
Oh shit.
My best friend, Kazuma Asogi.
Okay, we've been joking this entire time.
What?
After a whole year.
About
finally
it
his
being
memories
Kazuma.
returned.
Yeah.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, it's him. Oh no, he's still hot.
I mean, he is still very hot. Like,
He stood there before me.
He got hotter
also,
after death.
okay, someone, like, I'm going to say this, but I understand, like, spray bottle at me. That thing hugs him so tightly. What the fuck is he wearing? Is it, like, spandex? Because, like, you can see the line of his pecs and then,
yeah.
like, the line of his rib cage
Ooh.
and then another muscle. Like, what is going on there?
It's like a Super Sentai suit, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
Oh my god, it just hugs him in the right directions.
right? Like, I don't understand how this is
It's like-
happening, but
It's like, I know this is a serious moment, but hot damn, his body though. Like,
mhm.
it's just so...
So,
Holy shit.
I'd like to point out, Kazuma can now take his place again in the throuple. We don't have to replace him with Hot Apprentice. Or I guess we
He is Hot
do.
Apprentice.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
Hot
He is
Apprentice.
Apprentice.
And I would
Didn't know for...
love to take that outfit off of him.
Oh yeah. Whoa! Whoa! Oh yes.
Hey,
Oh
buddy.
yes, daddy. I mean, what? What?
Jesus.
Oh, I felt the tension. Did you feel that? Wait, the way he
I
said
love that
that?
this very emotional moment is happening with a mouse on his shoulder.
My friend,
You're
Boy.
being really chill about
Boy,
this,
friend.
bud.
Judicial Assistant Mikotoba.
Okay, that weird way to call her, but
We're all being really weirdly chill about all of this.
there's a lot's happened today.
A very long road. Thank you. Thank you for guiding my friend here when I could
What?
not.
Oh.
It was an honor.
Do we have a
Oh,
hug
kiss.
at least?
I knew
Yeah.
you wouldn't die that easily. Kazuma.
I have a lot of questions about whose dead body we were examining, but, you know.
Yeah.
I owe you thanks too for taking good care of that in my absence.
I'm very distracted by the fact you can literally
I d-
see the line of
I
his
d-
pecs.
Me too.
And
I'm looking.
his arm.
In his arms. What the heck?
Like, sorry, Shalom, screw your forearms. I could sit here and stare for a bit.
Oh, Karuma,
Oh, he's giving him a
great
sword
blade of
again.
the Asogi clan, passed down through the generations.
So, Kazuma, your dad was a mass murderer.
Fuck.
Great.
When we left Japan, this sword was at my friend's side. A Japanese man's katana is his soul, and he couldn't be parted from it. But then, when the incident happened, it was Susato-san's wish that I inherit the sword.
I don't think she had that authority now that I think back on that, but, you know. Guess it had to go to her or I, so.
And I've kept it with me ever since, along with my memories of the friendship we shared.
I will not accept we just shared friendship.
Because
I
by
hid in
my
his
side,
closet.
I always felt that you were watching over me somehow.
Oh no, he's hot.
So now he has 2 swords and I have none.
I've made it. At last.
Father. Are you saying...
That's a waxwork.
Surely not. You mean, you knew all this time?
How dare you? His dad
I'm
is.
looking at it.
That's his dad.
But
He's half
I still
waxwork.
can't believe it. This mass murderer is Kazuma's father.
Oh,
If you stab that thing or cut off its head, she is going to be so mad at you.
Yeah, in the distance, you just hear Tuspel screaming. Stop it! I'm not gonna. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. That's more than just his head, my guy.
I mean, I guess at least it's a clean cut. She can probably heat up the wax and reattach it.
reattach it.
Kazuma-sama.
Also, like, realistically, there's, like, wrought iron and a bunch of shit in there
Reno
keeping
stone.
that waxwork together.
Probably. Also, how have I kept a blade, like, actually properly cared for in Britain?
We have much to talk about. But now is not the time.
Okay, I guess I don't need to know how you're back to life. It's fine. We can kiss instead.
I'll be seeing you.
No,
What?
it's time to make
Excuse
out.
you.
Fuck.
Would someone like to explain to me what just happened?
We just defiled a statue that belongs to
All
someone
Kazuma
else.
said. Before he turned and left us there, in the courtroom.
Okay.
What?
Yo.
So we're just back to normal, I guess.
So, like, anyway. So, he's the living after image of the man who took my brother's life, is he?
Yes, Kazuma Asogi. My best friend. I'm not sure why you had him.
Yeah. Hey, Betsy, what the fuck?
That's weird. 3 months ago, when Lord Strongheart introduced us, I had an inkling there was something there, some connection.
Tell me, is it because we were both Japanese? Wild guess.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. What a piece of shit.
Damn.
But why did Lord Strongheart do that? Why did he make Kazuma Lord von Zeke's apprentice? And when he was suffering amnesia, too. Did he come over at the same time as we did? Like, did he then have to live in a closet for the rest of the time? What the fuck? How did he get here?
We need all the questions and answers. The man was apprehended, even executed. But his legacy just won't die. That's the sad truth.
Okay, can we not talk about executing my best friend / lover? We literally just reunited.
Anyway, that's all I had to say. I thank you for meeting me when I asked.
You're welcome for... I just let you share your personal trauma with me. I don't think we actually had a conversation that... Okay, bye. Oh.
Well, and he said, "Peace out, yeet."
It's just
Just disappears into the ether.
fades into.
Fades. Like that peace out fades.
Yeah, just, like...
Deuces.
10 years ago, my grandmother took me to the railway station. We were there to meet my father from the train. For me, it was the first time I'd ever seen him.
So the first time she saw her dad was when she was 6 years old.
That's rough.
Poor Susato-san. All of this is tied up with painful memories for her, too. She's never talked about this with me before, though.
It took time to adjust to having father around, but just when I was starting to get used to it, he called me into his study one day. He told me that a great friend of his had passed away in London, and that the friend had left behind a son, a boy 7 years my senior. Father told me the boy had made a promise to his late father, so he was studying to become a defense lawyer. I wanted to help, so I studied to become a qualified judicial assistant. As I'm sure you've worked out, that young man's name was Kazuma Asogi. So you see, that's how he and I met.
For a brief moment, my great friend had returned, only to disappear again all too soon. But in that fleeting encounter, something stirred. Something that had been dormant for a long time.
Arousal.
Feelings?
As if great wheels had been set in motion. I could almost hear them creaking into life. In some ways, it was the end of a chapter. But in many, it was the start of a new one.
There we go. That's why she's allowed to pass down Karuma to us. They were basically raised as siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feels like she should have kept it then, but,
No.
I was his lover, so.
True.
All right, I don't think we can move on from that. If I'm being completely honest, a lot just happened.
That was a lot to take in.
Yeah.
So I think we need to end here and maybe debrief a little bit of what just happened.
Oh my god.
Holy fuck.
So
That was
Kazuma's
great.
back.
Yeah. Woo. And he's hotter.
And he's hotter. Like, thank you to whoever makes his clothes now. I don't know who that is, but thank you.
Please keep them that tight. No.
Can we still have a throuple if they were kind of raised as siblings?
Oh.
It's a little weird.
It is a little weird. Maybe we have to keep that one separate.
Yeah, sorry guys.
They can take
Polycule.
turns. Yeah,
Polycule's over.
But on the plus side, that does mean we can keep our other wives. So,
Oh my god.
It's not the same
Yeah, they're
thing.
just sharing.
Mm-hmm. Look, we have a thing for a weird family line.
Oh my god.
But he's
Damn.
back, and I'm guessing we're going to hear more about the professor, and I think I saw something when I glanced over at chat about, now we can ask Kazuma about why he was named as one of the sign of 4.
Yeah.
And Sholmes has a lot of fucking explaining to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of questions of, like, what happened when Kazuma supposedly died the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He apparently laid really still for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to know about that. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
How did,
Like, I'm not opposed to it because I loved Kazuma. I miss the
Yeah.
headband. I think that needs to come back.
yeah.
Yeah, the headband's sexy.
Like,
the
look, you can
90s
tie
boy
people
hair,
up with
the,
it, but, anyways.
the 90s heartthrob
Whoa!
hair is pretty nice though. So
Mhm.
It was knocked out. I just thought it'd be funny to make you think it was dead.
Yeah, that seems like it would be a Sholmes thing to do.
yeah, just in on it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, your expression is so funny.
Let us cry on his shoulder. Knew the whole time that he wasn't actually dead.
Yeah.
Wow, what a bitch.
I mean, to be fair, he is apparently letting us live in his attic for free, so
That's true.
True.
he
We
is
could have,
somewhat monetarily making up for that.
yeah. Emotional damage.
So, I'm not opposed.
True. The suit and cravat are color swapped from Edgeworth. That is true.
Yeah.
That is so true. Mm. He looks so good. Oh my god, I can't stop
Very
looking
good.
at him. Oh my god, I may have to look at screenshots after this.
Mom's gonna need a minute.
Spray bottle for you.
Woo!
Look,
Can you
I think the
blame
only
me?
reason we didn't have the full-on breakdown that we did when we saw Sholmes's forearms for the first time was because they were actually speaking, and we couldn't
Right.
pause.
Yeah.
Right. But this is different. It
Ah.
just kept going, and we're like, oh damn, they're so pretty.
I mean, look, and then he decimated a wax figure with a sword, so, like,
That
add
was
on to
hotter.
the sexy.
Yeah, that was hotter. Yeah. He's like, Father, this is what I think of you, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Slices in half. Take that, motherfucker.
And look, do I understand anything what's going on between him and his father at the moment? No, but do I need to know? I'll probably be forced to figure it out.
Not with that outfit on, no.
Yeah. I will say it's a good thing it was a wax figure, not a person, because he's wearing white.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that
So
would have
just putting that out there.
everywhere. Yeah.
Ah.
Wait a minute, but like, okay, wait. I have one maybe continuity thing that is bothering me about all this.
Okay.
Okay. Just
Okay,
one.
didn't we just establish in this trial that there was no way that the lady would have known what their actual face looked like because of like the time that like there was something about times of like when she went into the grave and she did all this wax modeling whatever thing, like why are we not talking about it? Like what if that's not actually the professor?
It
Because
could indeed not actually be the professor.
that's what I'm saying, like that in
Mm-hmm.
this literal exact trial they talked about there was no way that you got the correct person right anyway because of the times being out of whack, so there's no way you got the thing wrong. And then she was like, oh my god, like gasp, I got it wrong, but this is like my family legacy, like and all that stuff. So now I'm confused and I'm like, why did we accept that that was the professor?
I think that
Like,
we think that it's still the right person. We just think that she failed to kill them the first time. So then he rose up out of the grave
oh,
and then got caught. And I
are you
assume
sure?
killed and buried again
Right.
is the implication.
Right, because
We didn't
I
really
don't know.
talk about what happened after that, but
Yeah.
I assume
Because
that's what happened.
yeah, I'm still confused because I'm like, is it though? Is it? Because
I have a
wasn't
feeling
that
we're
a
gonna
whole
go
plot
deep
point?
into that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I
We're
thought that
not
was a whole
done with
plot
that.
point. Yeah, we'll see. And also, we don't know anything about like the Courtney Scythe sibling, whatever. Why were
Mhm.
they introduced here? And that we didn't say shit about them.
Yeah, I have a feeling
So
we're gonna have to go a pretty deep dive into the professor case since we just opened Pandora's box.
Yeah.
So, and it seems like Kazuma's got the whole relationship with it. And now we know why Mikotoba wanted Suzato to leave as well.
yeah,
Since we just opened that, I can't imagine. You know, when he gets that correspondence 6 weeks later, that he's gonna be super thrilled she's still there. But
oh yeah, yeah. The next chapter is called Twisted Karma and his last bow. His last bow is the name of the collection of home stories. Oh, maybe
we will find
we
out.
shall see.
I think we have 2 more cases here. I could be wrong. It could only be one. But yeah,
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see what happens because we've got a lot of external questions still, right?
Yeah,
So,
because that's gonna bother me. That particular detail is gonna bother me.
the professor stuff I know is they're usually pretty good about wrapping everything up. So,
Yeah,
I assume we'll get all of our questions answered at some point.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I have a feeling these last couple cases are going to be pretty load bearing. So
yeah.
maybe we
It's
don't want to
gonna,
take like 3 months off
yeah,
next time.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's
speaking of Watson, because Chad is saying the last bow is chronologically the last Holmes adventure that Watson recorded. We still don't have a reason for why Watson, Iris's father, was
Yeah.
there in the first game in the first case.
and why he died.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about Jezebel Brett that I assume is going to come out.
Yeah.
100%. And why like everyone's like so walks around tiptoes around like if there's a British person in Japan and a Japanese person in England and all that shit. Like if they're criminals in each other's countries, I guess.
Yeah, I
Mm,
mean, well, it's countries with very weak ties at the moment, so anything can
yeah,
set off a powder keg.
yeah. That's crazy. Oh my god. Oh my god, why are you guys like this? Ugh. Why are they like this? Also, like, no offense though. Why? Well, I mean, we'll find out why,
Hmm.
but this it's not justified. Like, why the fuck did Kazuma's dad become a serial killer in the first place?
I have a feeling we'll figure that out.
Yeah, that seems like a end game kind of revelation that they would actually give us.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Plus, we still have to
Yeah.
figure out what's going on with the Hound of Baskervilles that we got the collar for. So,
Yeah.
we have a lot of questions still out there.
That's cray cray.
And now we have Kazuma to help us figure it all out.
Yay! In a hotter outfit. Woo!
Exactly. And
I
possibly
can't
on the
even.
other bench.
Yeah.
I don't know
Maybe.
where he's going right now.
Yeah, he could be a prosecutor. Oh my god, that'd be crazy. Yeah.
I mean,
That'd
that's
be.
kind of, it's really interesting because if you think about, he and Edgeworth kind of parallel each other in that both of their, I'm assuming here that Kazuma's dad was a defense attorney and that's why Kazuma promised to be a defense attorney.
Hmm.
Edgeworth's father was also a defense attorney because remember we found that out because of DL6.
Mhm.
And then they both are possibly ending up becoming prosecutors
Hmm.
because of some massive trauma. So,
It's always the massive trauma.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Massive trauma does tend to do that, like derail all your plans.
Hmm.
No.
No.
Damn.
No
All
way.
right. Well, unless anyone else has anything to talk about, I think we can end
Nope.
here.
I gotta
Nope.
process. There's so much just happened. I gotta keep processing in my little brain.
Yeah, that was a lot.
I will say,
Lot.
I want to give them kudos because that scene, like the actual scene walkthrough, had so much camp in it, and I don't know if that was intentional, but it felt very campy to me, and I loved it.
Oh yeah, it was hot.
Like it's a little bit cheesy, but you know what? I'm into it.
Yeah,
I love cheese.
cheesy good,
Cheese is good.
not cheesy bad.
Yes.
Mm.
Look, Hot Man uses sword to cut something apart. It's a winner every time.
And then he yelled as he took off the mask. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Excellent.
Mm.
So we are going to end here for tonight. Next stream is Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. I think, Lemur, that's a solo one for me, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So we'll be doing House and Fata Morgana on that one. Anyone got any announcements?
No. Not for me.
Cool. I'll give the final announcement, and after this, I'll stop bugging people about it. We have transferred our Twitter account onto Blue Sky. So there's just a couple of links left lingering that I'll be swapping out this weekend, but no longer posting updates on Twitter. Come join us on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. That's all I got. Thanks for hanging out, all. We'll be back, or I'll be back on Thursday. Everyone else is lame. Love you.
Yeah.
And
On Sunday, rude.
Oh.
oh yeah, and Sunday, assuming Lemur is there, come join us for Exit 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, that should be fun because I forgot maybe not everyone was hanging out for the end of the last stream since we ended so late. But yeah, so if you want to watch our next stream for this, come back on Tuesday. Other than that, as a reminder, all the links are below. So our YouTube channel, you can go check out any of our old stuff.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Have a good night, all.
Good
Thanks for
night,
hanging out.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.